Hey everyone, welcome back to Pilot Path and welcome to episode 6 on descent and ILS landing using Navigraph charts on the FlyByWire A32NX. In the previous lesson, we took off and climbed in the FlyByWire A32NX inside Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we're doing a proper airline style descent and ILS landing using the charts. Don't worry, I'll keep it as simple as possible. So what you want to do is go onto Navigraph and open the charts. Now keep in mind that you will need a Navigraph subscription for the charts as it is not free. Next, what you want to do is make sure that your flight plan is already imported, and you press on airports and select your arrival airport, which for me is Brussels. You press on charts and press on approach, and then after you select your approach runway, the one that you put in your MCDU. So for me it'll be ILS runway 25 left. So I'm doing an ILS. I'm doing ILS charts. And now this might look very confusing, I know, but I'll explain through this step by step. So first, as you can see, I'll show you this here. So this shows you your target altitude. So this is your target altitude of 3,000 feet, well, for me at least. This target altitude shows at what altitude the glide slope will start. So basically, when the airplane will now finally start to descend on its own with the autopilots. If we go down here for straight in landing, we can see we are doing an ILS, and this is our decision height. So the decision height is basically the minimum altitude where you should see the runway. If you do not see the runway at this altitude, you go around. Next thing what you want to check is your ILS DME, basically your ILS frequency, which I'll show you how to check on the MCDU. And apart from that, the charts these are the most important things about the charts: altitude, decision height, and frequency. So then after, what you want to do is back on my flight simulator. As you can see, we're still cruising in altitude, and now we're 127 nautical miles away from the airport. So you're wondering, well, when do we start our descent? That's where the flypad comes in handy. So you go onto the flypad, press on this little calculator button, performance, top of descent, your current altitude, you can just press sync, and then after you write your target altitude on the charts where it said. So for me, it said 3,000 feet, and it says here, start your descent about 63 nautical miles before target. Now you're probably wondering, well, how do I know when I'm 63 nautical miles? Well, you can check from the MCDU the desk, as it says here, it keeps updating in live time, but you want more accurate. So what you want to do is press on the waypoint you're about to go onto. For me it's Maddox, or actually no. Click on the first waypoint, press on fix info. You would know this is the first waypoint if it says fix info. And then after, you put the waypoint where it is your target altitude. So for me it is Bravo Romeo 5 Lima Foxtrot. So that is my mandatory 3,000 feet to where I should be. So I go back to the simulator and put it in. So for me it was Bravo Romeo 5 Lima Foxtrot, I believe. Yep. Then after, you put your waypoint into Refix 1, and you should see this. And you want to forget about radial and put in radius. Your radius is the number that your flypad gave you from the top of descent calculator. For me, it's 63. So I'll put 63. And that is about it. So if we go onto flight plan and just zoom in a bit, we should see this little blue ring. This blue ring is where we start our descent. So as you can see, so this is a really helpful tip so that you know when to start your descent and land on time, to make sure you're not too high, because as you have to catch the glide slope on the correct flight level. Now, before we reach there, we have to put in our our destination info. So you press on performance, next phase, and here you should see. So our QNH for this airport is, if I just look on here, 987. So 087, put it in the QNH. Temperature 9. The wind, it is 270 at 9 knots. Now here, your barrow is your decision height. So for me, it was 350. And that is about it for the MCDU. Then you want to go to RadNav and just check that your ILS frequency is the same. So if I go here, if I remember, yep, for me it's the same 110.35. And that should all be correct. And it looks like we're about to reach the blue ring, so I'm just going to start descent a little bit earlier to 3,000 feet. So I should have that ready there. Looks like we're coming into European airspace. So it looks like we're nearly on the blue ring, so we can now just start our descent. It looks like I set it on managed because of there's flight restrictions, so, and there's also speed restrictions, so that is fine.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business.
You want to make sure that your seatbelt signs are on when you're starting your descent.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for a ride.
Okay, we're just about to cross this blue ring, but we already started our descent. Okay, we have now crossed the blue ring, no problem. Flight information is already in. Weather's not really good right now, we're going at 29 knots. So we're almost done with our flight according to the flypad. Okay, looks like we're descending a bit more lower and faster. Just gonna get a wing view. Looks really nice. Okay, just taking a look at our flight plan here. We're just gonna go and plan what, just to see if everything is all good. So this is where we will be starting our descent, and just go directly onto the runway. Right now we are going to 4,000 feet due to the restrictions. If I just take a look at the transition altitude. Yep, all good. Transition altitude 4,500 feet, all good. So basically the transition altitude is where we go into, we don't use standard and we just go into our own barometric pressure, or our own, or the tower, or the country's weather altimeter. We're at under 15,000 feet. Oh yeah, we can go back into arc. So then after we can go to our checklist, if I can find it. Yep. So cockpit comparison, we should have done this at the start. It's fine. Yep. Line up. That's all good. Right. Approach. So barrow reference set. Actually, wait, not yet because we didn't get our transition altitude. Seatbelts, they're on. Minimum, yep. Auto brake, we don't need to at the minute. Engine mode selector is on normal, and we're not really done with the approach yet. So now Brussels should be around here somewhere. I'll just take a look. Sorry for the lag, but I don't think I see it anywhere. Oh no, it's just the wing light. I forgot to turn it off. I think Brussels around there. Maybe there, I'm not sure. Right, we are now going to flight level 030. We have now passed the restriction. Top of crosswind, 30 knots. Well, looks like we're going to our speed limit, which is, I believe it's 230, if I believe. Yep, 230 knots. Alright, well, looks like we're passing 10,000 feet. We are now going to turn on our Lights. All lights on. And we can now turn on our landing system. Okay, looks like we're now descending faster. I don't know why, but hopefully we do get 230 knots by then, because it looks like right now we're stuck like at 245. So this crosswind is mad. Oh, smooth all of a sudden. Okay. Let's make sure this landing system is also on the other side. I think what it's doing is it's going it puts the altitude first to make sure it's at 3,000, then the speed. So that's how I was on the fly-by-wire. Make sure everything's normal. Yep. Seatbelt sign is on. Yep. Everything good. Coming at 7,500 feet. Right, okay, looks like we are about to reach this, where we're supposed to be at 230 knots, sorry. And it looks like we're almost there. Right, by now we should be... I'm just use the speed brake a bit to help it. That's good. Oh, it's gonna go back up. Alright then, no problem. Looks like here, standard. So we're going to... Oh my, what's going on? Standard. So our QNH we said was 987. Speed limit exceeded. Right. Make sure they're both there. Right, okay, so it looks like we might be having trouble slowing down. So, what I think I'm not gonna do, once you're like about under 240 knots, go into performance, activate approach rates, confirm. Right, nearly at 3,000 feet. Brussels National Airport. coming at 3,500 feet. Oh, it's laggy again, man. Oh well. Okay, we are now at 3,500 feet. So now it looks like the glide slope is there. So now what we're going to do is now flaps 1. It looks like that's coming down, so we're just going to arm approach mode on the thing, on the autopilot panel. Right, then we'll go flaps 2. First, it'll automatically capture the localizer. So the localizer is what keeps the airplane in center line. And now, as you can see, the diamond made contact with the yellow line. So it's now going to follow the glide slope. So it looks like there, the runway. We are now slowly descending. So now checklist. Well, once the ECAM provides the checklist, that's when we go full flaps and landing gear down.
2,500.
Right, looks like we are 2,500. Checklist should display in a minute. If not, you can always start earlier. Since we're about 5 miles away, the runway's right there. We're just now gonna go flaps 3. After that's done, flaps 4. Yep, as you can see, this is now down. Cabin, press all. Max, we don't need max brake, but we can do low. And now last thing, landing gear down. So we are now all set for landing. So we can now go here onto our checklist. We can now set that as on, auto brake on, mark just as complete. You can proceed to the next. Alright. So you can now disconnect autopilot between 500 and 1,000 feet. Or if you're a bit if it's a bit tricky for you and you feel like you can't do it, you can always go after the decision height. That's what I'm going to show in today's video. We already have the runway in sight, so I don't think there's a need for go around. You can tell if you're really on center line. We have the PAPI lights. So if it's 2 white, 2 red, you're perfect altitude. If it's 3 whites, you're slightly high, and it's 4 whites, you're too high. And with the red, 3 reds slightly too low, and 4 reds, you're too low. But it looks like 2 whites, 2 reds were perfect. Coming up 600 feet. If you want, you can disconnect autopilot and do it yourselves if you feel like you can do it. But in today's video, I'm just going to show you after the decision height. that means now
100 above.
land. I don't know why it's not, the ECAM's not working, or the TCAS, but we're just gonna
Minimum.
off. You now have control, so you just have to follow the flight directives. Landing might be a bit bad, but oh well, it
50.
is what it is.
40. 30.
Alright, you want to
20.
lift the nose a tiny bit at the
Retard.
top and reduce
Retard.
throttle to 0. Idle. Your engines will now be in reverse thrust. Speed will be going down. And stop. So not stop, just put a tiny bit
Auto brake
brake of
off.
manual brake, so they don't stop completely on the runway. And then what you want to do is go to the nearest taxiway and just roll out. And now you have done it. You have successfully landed on FlyByWire A32NX using ILS landing procedures. If you enjoyed this video and you think it really helped you, drop a like and subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.